Hi guys, my name is Hybrid and I am a 3D printing nerd. And this video is showing you how I got from this to this. So let's get started. So I found this model by someone called Eastman. I found it on Thingiverse, and he also has a My Mini Factory page. This is his page. He has some really great models. The model that I found is actually a little too big for my printer. So what I wanted to do was split it up. I did that using Meshmixer, and I am going to show you how to do that. So I'll open this up in Meshmixer. Now, Meshmixer is a program by Autodesk. It is specifically made to open STL files, and the way you open this is basically drag and drop it into the program. It'll start generating the mesh, which takes a little while, and then as soon as that's ready, it's ready for us to cut into. The way we do that is by making a plane cut. It's important to keep both sides of the cut, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. Click Edit, click Plane Cut, which shows you this interface, and it'll show you where the cut is going to take place. Now I'm going to do this at a spot where I think it's going to look best. I think around here somewhere. Now don't forget to select the keep both. That's very important. And accept, and then we'll slice it. So the model is now halved, but it doesn't show up yet, as you can see. So we're going to separate shells, which will open the object browser and show us 3 models. The bottom one is the completed model, the original. The top 2 are the top half and bottom half, according to the plane cut we just did. And now we can save each one separately and slice them in our slicer. So this is just saving each half. To save, select one and then click export. Make sure that you select the right one to give it the right title. This is the top half. And after this, we're going to do the exact same thing to the bottom half. So again, export bottom. This is very exciting, especially to do voiceover for. Don't forget to save them as STLs. By default, it's object. And then we have these nice halved files. This is the top, and the bottom is also here, as you can see in the Explorer now. So the next step is to slice both of these models. I am using Prusa Slicer because it is my favorite slicer, and this is the print bed as it is on my printer. What we're going to do is drag and dropping both models separately, adding supports, and then exporting it to the printer for printing. If you're not an idiot, you can open the file up in one go. I'm unable to. There we go. So now we're going to be adding supports. Let me show you what happens first. When I slice the model, it'll show where the overhangs are in blue lines as soon as it's sliced. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of blue here. Now, if I add supports automatically, this is going to be a nightmare to remove. Let me show you what happens if I do this fully automatic. So let's go back to the model workspace and select automatic support. So go to support and click everywhere. What this is going to do is it's going to put supports everywhere where there was blue. Now, as you can see, this is a nightmare to remove post-print. It's going to cause damage. It's going to be impossible to get everything out. So we're not going to do this. I'm going to add supports manually, and I'll show you how now. To do this, switch over to the model workspace and select the support enforcers, which is the brush right here. The support enforcers will allow you to paint the model with either the left mouse to create blue lines or the right mouse button for red lines. And blue lines will enforce supports at this location, and the red will block them. So this will allow you to create supports exactly where you need them and block them where you don't want them. Now I'll speed this up just a little bit while I do both sides, and we'll continue from there. So as you can see, both sides now have support enforcers in place. And if I slice the model now, you'll see that there will be supports only on those positions. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I think this will be fine to print. So I'm going to save this as a project and then I'll be back with the top. So this top has a lot more detail and a lot more overhang than the bottom part does. I'm going to be adding more support enforcers in all the locations where I think it will need it. I'm going to do the arms because we know from the bottom model that has quite a steep angle. Then there's the pouches on the chest, the cylinder and the chin. There's also a little piece sticking out on the cap on the back, but I'm not bothering with that. My printer will handle that just fine. So let's slice. So slicing took a little bit. You can see there's a lot more supports. There's also some small blue lines indicating that there's overhangs. This is the piece on the cap that I was talking about. I think this will be fine. I'm gonna save this as a project because it saves it as it is sliced right now, including the supports. And then we can finally get started on printing. So now it is time-lapse time. Let's go. So, as you may have been able to tell, I'm pretty new at this, so I forgot to completely document all of my painting. I'll instead tell you what I did and illustrate it with some pictures. First, I glued together the two halves of the model that look like this. Then I put on a base coat of gray to make sure that the whole model basically looks as it should, and there's no weird color differences. I then added airbrush paint, red. The entire model was red and the black was added with a brush. I've been using Vallejo paints, the air paints. Those are horrible to put on with a brush. They're great for airbrushing. So that's a learning experience for me. Next time, get some paints for brushes specifically. I will. The next step, I added all of the colors that I needed to, and then I did a dry brush with the same paints and added highlights where I wanted them, and that turned into this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you really like what I'm doing, you can support me directly through Patreon. Thank you.